when I hear DDR, people of my age don't really think of data detection and response. We think of Dance Dance Revolution. And so
Exactly.
maybe,
Yep.
if I could tie that together with DLP, that sounds like a party I want to go to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a series of acronyms together that you're just like, I don't really know. Do I put my quarter down? Do I not put my quarter? Like, do I play this? Like, I really don't even know if I want to play this game. So,
Right, exactly. I don't want to be sweaty for the next 9 hours. All right, so let's break these down even further. And we thought of kind of the way to do it. Again, going back to being trying to put things together in my mind. And really, kind of the first thing I thought of was to connect these acronyms to my favorite characters, and that is The Office. So if we talk about kind of legacy DLP, right? This is the Toby of security. It's built for the old world. It's a little curmudgeon. You don't really know what you're going after, right? He's really good at making sure that Michael hates him, and so a little bit old school, but you have to have him, right?
yeah. I mean, you have to have him, but you're always following rules. It's kind of outdated. You're always looking up inside of manuals for like what the actual thing is supposed to be. I mean, you might be the Scranton Strangler. We're not really sure. Like, there's all those concepts that sit out there with Toby. And that's really what DLP like it was like, right? The legacy DLPs were sitting out there and you just kind of said, hey, I'm for this way. We corporate does it this way. Here's how we should do it. And then the end result was that it never really adapted and it never really kind of went ebbed and flowed with anything. So people kind of just kept shoving it off to the back of the office to say, hey, I know it's there. It's supposed to help me, but when I need it, it probably isn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be.
And if somebody prints out something and leaves it at Chili's during the Dundies, Toby's not stopping it, right?
No, no, not at all. Not at all. In fact, Toby's probably the guy that's drunk in the corner, not really paying attention to it in the first place because he didn't win any Dundies except for being the worst guy in the office. So,
right. Right. So that is, if we can think about legacy DLP like Toby. So the next one is Cloud DLP, and it's Jim, right? He's kind of everywhere. He's loved by most. He watches. He understands. He knows what's going on when no one else does. And he doesn't just follow the rules, but he knows how people behave. Right. So it's not black and white. It's not binary. There's a little bit more give and take with Jim.
yeah. Yeah. Honestly, Jim knows all the rules. He then knows the psychological game on top of all those rules. And then he's got more than enough time to kind of go out and figure out how can he play all of the pieces together. And so you want him to always kind of have an idea of what's going on there. You maybe don't want him to always be the one to act on it because let's be honest, a little mischievous in nature and may have a little bit more overzealous capabilities than you'd think so. But most of the time, he's adding in all that context. He knows more about everybody and he's ready to basically kind of play the chess player the whole time through. He knows everything about everywhere in the spaces that he's supposed to know about, and he kind of forgets about the old stuff.
Right. So we got Jim playing the kind of the Cloud DLP, Toby playing Legacy DLP, and so DDR, we've got our favorite Dwight. He's the authoritarian in automation, hyper-vigilant, always watching, maybe a little over the top. Dwight is security, right? He's hyper aware. He's lighting up handles so you can't touch door handles so you can't go out. He's putting fires in the trash to make sure that the security is secure. If Creed tries to smuggle something out, or Angela's cooking the books, Dwight is on it, and so really hyper aware.
Hyper aware, but also an action taker, right? He's not just, hey, I'm telling you about this stuff, or hey, I know what's going on. He is basically going, this happened. We need to act now. And it might be a little bit intrusive. It might, or a lot intrusive, right? It's this in your face. I'm going to take care of this. We need to do this right now. You don't understand how fast it's happening. We need to start going immediately. And that's the response. Like, and that's Dwight, right? I mean, that was the way he always acted, and that's the way DDR is. It's happening right now. You need to do something about it. And if you don't do something about it, wouldn't you rather I protect it now and then you figure it out later? Or I can't have enough time to fix this mess. So that's the way it always worked.
Right. So we have these three characters, Toby, Jim, and Dwight. And they all have their proclivities. They all have their kind of their strengths. And they all kind of have a little bit of their weaknesses. I think where it really comes together is when you combine kind of Cloud DLP and DDR, right? It's API-based, cloud-native architecture, continuous discovery. You got the two kind of playing off of each other, I think, for a lack of a better description.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you finally realize that they're meant to play off of each other and that they're actually not enemies of each other, it became wildly valuable. It's just like Jim and Dwight, right? They had this constant bash back and forth. It was hilarious the entire time because you're looking at it from the outside going, hey, there's a better way to do this. If you guys just work together, it would look good. And then when you finally did, you realize how well they actually like played off of each other, right? Bears love beats. Like you knew that one and then hit, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, wow, this is perfect. And then all of a sudden, you see how the whole thing works together and how clean and easy it is when they actually do communicate and when they can work together to say, hey, I can proactively solve a problem and I can also react to something just because the strengths of each actually just enables the other.
Right. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica. Yes.
Perfect. All right, so we've kind of got the stage set, helping us understand the difference between where we play. So I think, Chris, you talked a little bit about this, right? The difference is a blended effort versus just the legacy DLP. Anything else on this slide?
So I think the biggest thing to remember with this is that overlap is exactly the same. The whole point has been data protection for all of these, right? Legacy, cloud, and DDR. It's always been about data security. It's never really changed. It's just the evolution of what they're protecting, the data, is changing. So therefore, you have to evolve with it. So you have to think about how can I be better? How can I cover more? How can I get better accuracy across the board and be ready to then even adapt further as brand new things are coming out? So the whole point is that they're all going for the same process. It's just which one is staying on top of what the next level efforts actually are.
Got it. Same goal, different vehicle.